What up, what up? I got the new Yankee dude I was trying to get. It's pretty good for a 21-year-old. But this not be what we're doing. That there's the card we're after ultimately right now. What up, proper? So, since we got that done, now we're gonna go work on that March to October shit and try to win a World Series. You know? So let's see here. Sorry, whenever I load that file, it sends my shit into some sort of fucking pause mode, apparently. Yeah, fuck, don't listen to other people. I have my thing set so I can't even hear other people. One night I got on Grand Theft Auto and I got called the N-word by like little 12-year-old kids. Black kids, white kids, Hispanic kids. It was crazy. I was like, dude, what the hell is this? And where the hell are your mom and dad? Like, holy shit. I told my kids, I said, I swear to God, if I ever hear you saying that on any video game for any reason, I'm going to slap you so hard, I'll knock you back into history, and you can see why that word is a bad word. Yeah, I can't handle people. I had to change my chat shit, so when me and my buddies were playing Grand Theft Auto, I literally can hear only friends. So, yeah, I can't do it. And anytime I ever play anyone online, like in golf or something, no way. Because you'd be blown away how fucked people are on golf. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, let me hit my ball. Like, I try to be respectful and just not talk, and as you're shitting ready to shoot, oh, shot's pretty good, I think you do better. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Oh, I know. My friend, I used to watch him play like Call of Duty and all that shit, and oh my god, the word toxic doesn't even like describe it. It's just downright like disturbing. And like I said, the younger the word, the worse they sounded. It was just, I don't know. You could tell who the grown-ups in the room were, put it that way. And it wasn't because of the words they were using, it was the lack of their words they were using. It was nuts, that's for sure. Alright, sorry, I'm just kind of trying. Okay, yeah. We went to the 4-person rotation. think we pretty well have our lineup how we want it here. Alright. Well, it looks like we got the lead on the Minnesota Twins, who the Yankees love knocking out of the playoffs. Let's hope we can keep that going. Right? For real. That's a good way to put it, man. Like, it's just crazy, because for real, it's like, how do you just allow such little tiny kids to talk that way? Like, holy crap. Like, I don't know any 10-year-olds that have filters, so you think if they talk like that on there, they talk like that everywhere, right? Kids are too honest by nature to have filters. They don't need filters yet. You don't get filters till later in life. I'm sorry, Heidi, but I have you muted because I didn't want to get sued by you or some broadcast company for some crazy shit or something. Alright, what are we looking at here? You just sit down and you sit down, sir. We got a 2-0 lead. It's a home game, so we still get a bat. So yeah, we're good. Oh, I know he does. I don't doubt that. I just told him he better start learning when and where that stuff is appropriate. I swear my head off, dude. I'm probably worse than sailors. But I also know, like, you can't swear at church. You don't swear in front of your grandma unless she is cool with it. And you know what I mean? Like, try not to swear around your mom, you know? Unless she's cool with it, I guess. But even then, there are rules to cursing. I wrote a paper about it in school once, actually. The do's and don'ts of cursing, proper etiquette when using adult language. And yes, that is what it was called. The do's and don'ts of cursing. It's good stuff. I found examples of people that had gotten, like, in trouble for swearing in public and stuff, and said how that wasn't right, that shouldn't be a thing. That you're just expressing yourself, even if it may be vulgar and offensive. Yeah, Chick-fil-A wasn't on my list of places you couldn't swear at, so damn it, I just gave up a fucking home run, speaking of swearing. I knew I should have pitched that a lot lower. Dude, stop putting these two in here. I will tell you who I want warmed up. I don't have this, like, auto fucking warm up. Kidding me? It's the playoffs. Why would I put in, like, not my best freaking relief guy? Must be out your goddamn mind. And now they're not going to give me any calls now. It's a home game, Blue. Don't forget. Home game, Blue. What's good, dude? I can't see while I'm pitching and getting home runs hit off me. Sorry. Yeah, no wonder. I saw his Chick-fil-A thing and I missed it mixed in with his screaming every curse word thing there, and it bled right in there, didn't it? And I walk in. That's just fucking wonderful. Oh god, this is just fucking falling to pieces and like right in front of my eyes here. The fuck's going on here? What's the point of having the best pitcher in baseball playing in billions of dollars money if I can't get his ass to throw a fucking strike? Thank goodness. I'm sure I have that effect on people. I can't believe you guys stuck around as long as you have. Yes, I'd like to pitch bullpen. And I need to put him on ready and waiting. Alright. Oh yeah. 92. Oh, get out of here. Son of a bitch. Damn dogs anyway. Right? Yeah, who knows? I feel bad when people just walk in on especially a chat thing mid-conversation like that. Probably is a little crazy if it's on mine. Like I was watching that, there's a guy, he's called Smoke and Scan. He's out of California. And he always tries to follow like the scanners to find live chases, police chases, right? Man, I was watching, and I've watched him a few other times, and you can kind of keep up with the chat. Last night, chat was going so fast, there was no way. It looked like the Madden chat, you know, where it's just like non-stop chaos. It's like, I don't even know how anybody reads or what the point of even commenting is, because, yeah. Damn it. You almost feel bad because you see people just like begging for attention, like, read my comment. Because it's impossible. There's no fucking way the dude running the channel or the moderators can hardly even keep up. It was just that kind of crazy. Oh, I thought he was going to rob that shit. Did he bring that back in? Because if he did, that's not a home run. But I'll take it. But I thought for sure I was about to get robbed. That's why I didn't get too excited there. I honestly can't tell. I need to see a replay of what that did. But it somehow ended up back in the field. Definitely got a hold of that bitch. Oh, it hit the bullpen and had backspin on it. Crazy. Right? Yeah, it is. It's like, how do they even see anything or read anything? It's like, at that point, you almost just need to leave it up to your, you know, moderators and just not even, it's like, then what's the point? I don't know. I guess. I don't know. It's gotta be a better way. And yeah, that's just it. Yeah, the big ones, which is sad because it's like, man, just throw out a fucking every now and then. Oh, nice little snag over there. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably just kind of leave stuff up to my moderators. And then if I felt like I wasn't able to really feel like I was connecting with them, I'd try to figure something else out, or I don't know. But I'd make sure they understand that, you know, by me not like mentioning you doesn't mean I don't care. I'd make sure they understand that, like, dude, you gotta realize how many comments are flying across that screen. Like, we do our best, type of deal, you know. Man, I can't throw a fucking strike with this guy right now for my life. And it's annoying the shit out of me because it's on rookie and it should be easy. I think probably the biggest streamer that's actually read my comment was someone's snoring. Yeah, that can be a bummer. Oh, what the hell, LA Beast. I don't know, surely one of the two of you, if not both of you, have heard of him at one point in time or another. Well, that's nice of you, dude. But yeah, he was probably the biggest, quote, streamer to, like, read a comment when he was doing a live stream, so. And then I've got him, I've chatted with him, like, a couple times on Twitter about stuff a long time ago, back when he really didn't have nearly as many. So it's been kind of cool. He's one of, like, few people I've actually been around for a long time on a lot of their stuff. Oh, fuck. Did you see that? Yeah, that's pretty good, dude. I don't know how many subs LA Beast has, but that was a fucking throw like a beast. Nice. Alright, Mr. Chad Green, you're gonna go in here, so just be ready, sir. Got up underneath that sumbitch. Oof. Oof. Damn it. Ah, I got caught up not deciding what to do, and there's such a delay in that shit. You gotta do it so fast. I've been told I snore from time to time, but oh my god, it's only if I'm laying on my back. So my wife usually just shoves me over to my side, and I'm like, what? She's like, dude, you're snoring. I'm like, oh, sorry. But whenever she snores, I don't fuck with her because I feel bad. I don't want to wake her up and shit, but I'm glad she wakes me up. Oh, just out in front of that. Yeah, I think this next week I'm just gonna play a couple solo battles a day, and then maybe do like a draft game or something. I don't know. I might let my kids do the easier, lower level teams. Dude, why am I not able to throw a fucking strike tonight? This is actually, usually I'm pretty decent at pitching. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I can't believe he took that. Yeah, that's sometimes I'll do too with the kids. Oh, that's a strike. Blue. It's the playoffs. It's ridiculous. But yeah, sometimes, like I said, I'll let my kids play the whole game on the lower tier ones, and then against the better teams, I'll try to, once I'm up by 3, you know, anywhere from 17 to 21 points, I'll hand them the controller and just like, I'll screw it up. And they usually don't. First team you play it's like silvers and shit. They usually do pretty well. Like, my one kid beat him like 84-0 one day. I was like, alright bro, call off the dogs, man. We have to play another game at some point tonight. Like, you've proven your point taken. But just finish this shit. It's like, put it on 2 clock, man. Right? Well, what they explained to me is they were trying to have a challenge between the 2 of them. The younger one played the first game, so he was going to score as many points. And then, of course, you know, the other one wanted to try to score... They were trying to score 100 was the goal. Whoever could get 100 points. So, that's why he was getting upset with me when he was like, I don't want to do that. And I was like, dude, what the hell do you mean? So I let him finish it off, and like I said, he ended up at 84-0. It was like 84-7 or something like that. It was pretty funny though. See ya, baseball. Judas Priest. Dude, that'll be on SportsCenter. Man, I wish I could hit a baseball like that just once. I would literally be a happy person if I could just hit a baseball like that one time in my life. And now he's trying to come high and inside on Gary. He's a catcher. Why is everybody trying to beat the catchers? That's the second dumbest person to be next to a pitcher. Do they realize that's the guy that calls the game? Not a good dude to be in. Oh, that was crazy hot. Alright, Luke. Uh-oh. Oh. Alright, that's cool though. I'm gonna try to save Chapman and not use him. But if for some reason this gets to within 3 runs, I will. If it gets to be 5-2 or 5-3, whatever, Chapman will come in. What are you guys arguing about over here? I missed the first part. Shane here. Yeah, I don't know much. I feel like he's done a lot better job with the 49ers because of the Falcons situation. Now, some of that was because, no offense, but whether you like Tom Brady or not, he's one of those dudes that when he clicks on that switch, man, it don't fucking matter who he's playing, who he's up against. So not all that can be blamed on him when he was with the Falcons. Some of that was just fucking Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things. You know, Belichick and Brady had a way of doing that. But there were some things in that game that Shanahan could have done a lot differently. In hindsight, of course. Yeah, it's easy to say in hindsight. But, yeah, I don't know. It's like anything else, though. You know how many times I've had people tell me how dumb Tom Osborne was for going for 2 in that game with Miami and you know, whatever, 83, 84, the Orange Bowl there. Because literally, if we tie that game and we kick the extra point, we probably most likely get a tie for the national championship. And that's pretty fucking sweet. But Tom Osborne didn't want a fucking tie for the national championship. He didn't think that's right. There should only be one team. And goddamn it, he was, you know, he had the belief it was going to be his team, so... Dude, I always struggle against the high 80s. Like an 87 to an 89. I feel like I do better against a fucking 90, like a 91 overall team than I do an 88 overall team. Alright, that was a good deal to take that first game there, because that's going to get this thing up. There we go. Yeah, it always will be. Really, we got to play the very next game? I thought they'd at least like go 1 game in, but whatever. That's cool. It's cool. I don't want him here. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so Mr. James Paxton. You know what? I'm just going to put him in there because I know they're going to fuck with that every time, so. So we got a nice lead here. What else is going on? Cleveland and Oakland are at 1 apiece. St. Louis and the Dodgers are at 1 apiece. And the Cubs and the Mets are at 1 apiece. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get a win here. And be the only team to go up 2-0. Because this is best of 5, so it only takes 3 to move on in baseball in the first round there, so let's get out of here early with the rest of our pitchers. So we got a day game, that's cool. Alright, so top 6, 1-1. Let me guess, there's dudes in the bullpen. Sit down. Oh, you don't have to not be boring. I'm the one that should try to not be boring. It's my stream, right? I hope I'm not being boring, but golf was probably boring. Or Proper had to sit through 2 rounds of that shit, didn't you? I try to keep my shit legit, and sometimes I get in the zone and forget to chit chat and stuff, so yeah, you know. Ah, he wanted that one, didn't he? Why didn't you swing, man? Could have made both our lives easier. Oh, I get it. I see now what you're at. We're on the same level now. But either way, I hope I'm not boring. That's good. I don't get many people that are, to be honest with you, so both of my quote viewers per se, you guys, have both came through Madden, so I've had a few people here and there that would, like, you know, show up on a pretty regular basis besides you too when I was playing golf, but otherwise it's pretty much just been you two, and there's a couple guys. There's a Max guy. He used to come hang out quite a bit. I think it was Max B, if I remember right. He was like a college student. He was pretty cool, dude. We had some pretty interesting conversations, so pretty down-to-earth kid for his age. I thought it was kind of nutty. I was like, are you lying to me about your age, bro? Or are you just... Because, yeah, he was pretty ahead of his time, I guess, for his age. Well, even though you guys aren't here for the gameplay, I still try to make the gameplay interesting so you're not just watching stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that'll work. Oh, really wish I could have sent him to 2, but let's go. Let's go. Even he mouth, let's go. It's crazy. Oh, Blue, that's a cheap strike. You didn't call that for me earlier. I try to remember back, and like, I don't know. Like, granted, times were definitely different. But I wasn't like, I wouldn't call what you'd be immature, but I definitely wasn't necessarily. Oh, I had my moments of both, you know what I mean? That was a pretty good mixture. It just depended where I was and who I was with. Damn it. Right into a double play. Fucking fantastic. Like, when I was at home, I was, you know, mostly well behaved, but, you know, I had my moments of being an absolute shithead because I had a younger brother, so he tried to irritate me, and he was a professional irritant, is what I called him a couple times, because it was like, if there could have been a job to be that, I was like, that's what you should be, as a professional irritant, because it's pretty much what you are. Oh, swing at that, Josh. Come on, man. Alright, now let's bring it up and in. Ride. I swear, them with this bullpen shit. It's not who I want. You can warm up. And you ready and waiting. Well, see, I can't remember, I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember how old you guys are, but like, until I was about 25, I didn't really get it. I don't know if that makes sense. But like, things started just making a lot more sense of just how to deal with people. And just, I don't know. We have this deal in my family that I'm not ashamed to admit. What it is, at least on one side of them, they really, really just like to make everything is bad. Like, everything's negative, Nancy, you know, even good things, they find the worst part about a good situation. I don't know if that makes sense. But I was that way, because part of it, I'm not trying to make excuses, but part of that was just the way I was brought up. It was, you know, sometimes I'd see that side of my family, good things that happen, and they'd still find the bad shit. Like, the best example I can use, and it's not a real example, but just as a description for it, is that side of my family, somebody could win $1 million or more, and instead of being excited that they just won $1 million, they would complain about the taxes they had to pay. You know what I mean? That's the type of just general attitude they have on everything. Everything. And I was that way until about 25 to 27. And then I just realized that that's bullshit. Like, you can't do that. You gotta take the good, enjoy the good, and deal with the bad. So, because all it did was made the bad worse. That's why I realized at one time, is all I do is make bad things worse than they really are by thinking that way. So 27 and 15. Cropper, you got so much shit in front of you, dude. Even Little Red can probably fill you in on that. You have no idea yet, man. Just behave, don't do anything too fucking stupid, and have a good time now. But God damn, these guys in their defense. That is one thing about them. They got decent defense. Oh my goodness. I gotta be a little more patient. I'm swinging like I'm up by 5. Man, that curveball he throws is silly. Yeah. Go figure. Age demographics, you know. Compared to me, dude, you guys are both super young. Stay fair. Oh, are you serious right now? Damn it. From that foul ball damn near home run to a fucking weak ground to the second. That sucks. Right? And I don't know. It's just strange how they're all like it, and it kind of like I said, once again, it's because none of them know any different. So, and some of that's from a lot of the older relatives were from that, you know. They were kids during that Depression era and World Wars and all that bullshit, and I get it. That shit's crazy. But some of them aren't. They're just generally pissed at the world, it seems. And it's like everybody's out to get them, you know. It's not like they're psycho-paranoids, but, you know. I don't know. I decided to change that shit. It ended with me. Because I don't know if my brother will have any kids. And I have 2, so I was like, you know what? I literally, you could ask her. If she was in here, she would tell you. I told her one day, well, I'm ending this shit. I am tired of it. I'm like, I'm not gonna allow the kids to think that way or see me think that way, because that's bullshit. Because it's not fair to the people around me, mostly. Because that's, you know, those are the people that I took it out on when I was angry, was all the people around me, and that was the weirdest part. That's really is where it made no sense to me, so I just said, fuck this noise, I'm done. I'm not saying I don't get angry, and I'm not saying I don't get sad about shit, but I definitely don't get angry or sad about good things. And even then, I try to make the best of bad shit, so... Yeah, like I said, it's crazy. And that's, you know, what do you do? There we go, that's fighting back. Well, I think that's probably it for the starter, though. Sorry, fellas, that you didn't get in the game, but I'm gonna leave you ready and waiting, and I'm gonna stretch and toss you just to get loose in case somebody goes deep or something here. Oh, I got way under that one. God damn it. I felt like I might not hit that, or I might have hit it better, and then I realized, nope, just got way under it. Wind's blowing out and up, so that's the good news. It's just hard to get over here with these right-handers. Now would be a good time where a lefty with some power to come up, but... Get down, baseball. Ugh. Life Lessons by SpongeBob. Yeah, cartoons, man. I don't think they realize what those do for kids, dude. I learned a lot of shit from Scooby-Doo, as strange as that sounds, and stuff like that in the 80s and 90s. I grew up in a good time for cartoons, guys. Just throwing that out there. The late 80s and early 90s were something else for as far as cartoons go. Yes. Okay. Okay. I saw you sneaking over there too. Ah. Damn it. Come on, Glaber. Get out, baseball. Yes! Let's go! Let's go! You know, I watch a lot of TV, dude. I watched a lot of Criminal Minds. I was forced into watching some SpongeBob, but eventually I had to give up. Because, I know I'm gonna probably, you know, don't at me with this, because I'm not even gonna sit and explain my reasoning for this, because I'm just... Certain cartoon characters I can handle. Others, I cannot. Patrick, that fucking starfish. Yeah, can't deal with him. At a certain point, I looked at my kids and I said, guys, I'm glad you like this show, but I can't do it. I have to leave the room. And I just had to walk away. I have one episode of SpongeBob that I would watch every time it came on, and I told them, when that episode comes on, you come get me. And I want to see. I want to see. I'll give you each 2 guesses, if you want to take them, on what episode from SpongeBob it is. Whenever it was on, I made my kids go, "Hey, come get me. I want to see it." Oh, inside out of that shit. Damn it. I'll even give you a little hint to help you, since there are probably gajillion SpongeBob episodes. It has to do, and this may be a dead giveaway because once again, I don't know a lot about the show, but it has to do with music. The SpongeBob episode. That's what it has to do with. Is the key word, the clue word is music. I'm not saying it's a musical. I'm just saying it's has to do with music. No, but I have seen the Super Bowl one. I will admit that. Not the whole episode, but yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it because I would hear my kids out there just giggling their asses off, and I'm like, God damn, what's so hilarious? Oh shit, I just gave up a homer too. Oh yeah, it would help maybe if I put in my goddamn closer. Shit. No. The episode that I would always be like, guys, you must come get me, is the episode with Pantera, the band Pantera. Because they are probably one of my top 10, if not top 7 favorite all-time bands, so... Mostly because of their drummer. He is just, I don't know, something different about the way the guy plays drums and the sound his drums give off. And I know they're like, oh, it sounds like every other band, but as a drummer, it just something about his drumming style just, I don't know, it feels right to me. I guarantee you, dude, there's a fucking episode of SpongeBob where Pantera has, like, either they do the theme song or they do, like, songs in it or have something to do with the episode. Like I said, I don't know enough about it. That's, like, the only episode I would have them come get me. I'm not saying I'd pay attention to it. I would listen for the Pantera and be like, this is pretty weird, you guys. Oh, no, my kids... They knew parents were weird a long time ago. I'm not what you would consider your normal parent. That's not saying I don't make my kids still do the normal shit like take baths and follow rules, but let's just say this, my 9-year-old turning 10 in July is able to already almost drum to Slipknot songs. The nice thing is he pays 0 attention to the words. Because even the older kid now is getting to that point at 13 where he'll look at me and I'll just be like, I'll shake my head because it's like, don't make a big deal out of it because he doesn't even know what they're saying. He's just listening to the drums. Just let him listen to the drums. But that was the other day. their kind of treat for finishing school was we watched that live 311 concert that they streamed, where they did a replay of one of their concerts from a few months ago that they recorded, that they originally were going to do like a DVD deal, but they said fuck it, instead of making money off it, let's just release it as a free stream for people to watch a concert at home. And yeah, we sat and watched 311 concert for about an hour and a half. It was good stuff. Right? I had a relative burn me the first album from Nickelback, and at first I was listening to it and I was like, okay, this isn't, like out there, but I was like, it's just something weird about it. But I was like, once again, I listened to drums first, words second, and I was like, well, the drums don't suck. But then I like, everywhere I go in my car on a radio, and every time I turn on a TV to a music thing or anything, it was Nickelback, 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 Nickelback. And after their Photograph song, I was pretty well done with Nickelback. I wasn't going to be upset if I never had to hear another Nickelback song ever again, but to each their own. I know a lot of people that dig them in Theory of a Dead Man, but to me, there are times I can't tell the difference. I'm like, I don't know which one of this is. Like, there are certain songs they have where, of course, you just know it's theirs, but then there are other times where I'll hear if that was Nickelback or Nickelback Jr. I can't tell. Oh, bro, they love AC/DC. Back in Black is one of their favorite songs, mainly due to Iron Man. There's a couple AC/DC songs on Iron Man, so they're huge into Marvel. We own a good majority of the Marvel Universe movies, so yeah, they were well tuned in with AC/DC. My youngest, actually, one of his favorite bands of all things is Led Zeppelin. Black Dog, he could listen to Black Dog all day on repeat, I think. Fucking just a little red, that's awesome. Right? Thunderstruck, the live version of Thunderstruck, I had them listen to that, and I think they were pretty well hooked at that point then, once they realized that was AC/DC. And yeah, just the beginning, minute and a half of that song with just the guitar and the drums. If that doesn't get you hooked on AC/DC, I don't know what does. I don't know what it takes. I don't care. Dude, okay, so check this. First day of school at this new school. When I moved from the town I live in now to a town about 7 miles from here. I have to pause the game. Sorry, quick story time. I go to school, right? Okay. I have on a band shirt, and I want to say the band name, but I don't want to get in trouble because they're the type of band that might get me in trouble, but fuck it. I was wearing a Metallica shirt, okay, from one of their older albums. Bolts of lightning going across it, if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, anyway, wearing my Metallica shirt, I figured if anything, that's a pretty safe shirt to wear to a new school. That was my thought, because this is the first time I've ever had to do this. I went to the same school for the first 8.5, almost 9 years. This was mind you, keep in mind, this is like my freshman year, so I'm already worried. So I go in there, and everybody I cross paths with is like, I can literally, when I say, I'm not making it, you can hear them whispering behind me as I walk past them. And it's like a movie. Like, I've never felt so fucking awkward, and I'm like, man, something's weird. I'm like, do I have like something hanging out of my, I have like toilet paper in my shoe? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, surely I didn't even think anything about my shirt. Well, about that time, I get to my locker, and this dude's sitting next to me on one side and a chick on the other, right? The chick looks at me, not the dude first, but the chick, very good looking blonde girl, goes, "Hi, I don't know you, but are you like one of them faggots?" And I was like, whoa. I was like, hold the boat. I'm like, I looked right at her and I was like, no. And I couldn't, and then the guy goes, "I think you are one of them, dude." And I was like, and I'm confused, so I just kind of was like, why? And he's like, "Because only a fag would wear a Metallica shirt." And I'm like, okay. And I knew right away, I was like, man, this is going to be a rough fucking year. Like, I'm probably going to get my ass kicked because the majority of my shirts were those type of bands. Pantera, Metallica, Jackal, 311 shirts. I was like, dude, I'm going to have to get a whole new wardrobe or I'm going to get my fucking ass kicked. But I went home and told my parents, and they explained it to me that around there it was a lot of very religious people. And there was probably a lot of worse names they probably could have called me, but that really wasn't right of them. And, you know, you can't call people that. And I was like, yeah, I get it, you know. And, yeah. But let me tell you, for the rest of the year, I told my mom, I said, go to fucking Walmart and get me blank goddamn white t-shirts. Or black or red. That's it. I either wore Husker stuff or plain white shirts for the entire rest of the time I went to school there until I finally talked to my mom into letting me leave and go back to where I came to school. I was done. I made it through about right at the end of football season after I crashed my car. I was done. I went back to my other school because I couldn't take it no more with those people. I finally just broke down after not going to school for 5 days, and my head was just pounding, and my mom was like, "Why are you so stressed?" And I was like, "I don't think my concussion can heal because I'm just so nervous about going back to that place." For real, dude. It's because we didn't go to any of their churches, see. My parents weren't, like, involved with any of the churches around that area. And it didn't help that we lived out in the country, so it's not like I could really make any friends the summer we moved to that town. So yeah, it was just it was bad. There was one kid who I made friends with, and the only reason we were friends is because he also was a new kid. And on the first day of school, he showed up listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony on his Sony Discman, yo. And yes, we use Sony Discmans, CD players that were in your pocket. And he was listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony, and I could hear it during study hall, and I was like, yo, and I think he thought I was going to make fun of him because he probably, like me, had already been made fun of that day. And I'm like, what are you listening to? And you could tell he didn't want to tell me, and I was like, it's cool. I was like, it sounds like Eazy-E. And he goes, yeah, bro. He goes, it's Bone Thugs. And he goes, you heard of them? I was like, yeah, I know them. So from that point on, I became friends with him. And it was funny because he ended up being the pastor's kid at the church right across the street from the school. Of all the people, here I'm making friends with him because I listen to the devil's music and he listens to gangster rap. And we became best friends, man. So it kind of worked out. I mean, we just banded together for as long as I was there, and I felt bad leaving him. I told him, I was like, bro, I feel bad leaving you behind for the vultures. And as he put it, he goes, it's good because my dad's the pastor. All these people fucking act like I'm some sort of, you know, friend of theirs. And he goes, he goes, I'll just survive. And he did. He made a few friends, and I ended up making some other friends from there eventually, but I don't know. It was a weird town to live in. It was the cliquiest town as far as, like, just groups of people, which is crazy because I went to a town that had a lot more kids in it. Yeah, but you know, it really wasn't a thing to have, like, a hoodie. You pretty much had a winter coat that your parents bought for you, man. And you didn't fuck it up. Hoodies weren't really a stylish thing at the time, honestly. We wore a lot of stupid baggy ass dumb clothes. Like I said, this would have been like 1994, 95. See, I went to a school where I live now. In the town I live now, I went to school here for almost 9 years, pretty much. But first 8 years I went here, and there was 9 kids in my class, and we got along like brothers and sisters. Then I went to the second school that sucked. There was about 29 kids in my class, and that one sucked. I hated every fucking day. I don't think I ever actually had a good day there, and it's weird because it was like, it just made me really miserable. But then when I went to the other school where I ended up graduating from, that one had like 121 in my class. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, they were cliquey there, but I was able to find my group a lot easier. And there was more of them, of course, than just one kid. Right? See, I graduated in 1999, bro. I'm old as dirt, right? So imagine what was going on. Go back and look at what happened in 1999 and just think about what my graduation was like. It was intense and weird and just totally different than the graduation a year before it. That was the beginning of what, I don't know what you want to call it, the changes. Like, where just the world in general would change in a day. You'll do it. You'll be alright. And it was great because we had some fucking moron from the town that I hated. He ended up, of all people, making a bomb threat against my school that I was graduating against in 1999 because he had beef with a kid who was graduating in my class. He was a year or two younger than us, so he would have been like a junior or sophomore in high school at my old school that I came from. I'm just hoping I wasn't the kid he had fucking beef with, because they never did say who the threat was against, and I don't even remember the kid. I don't even think I ever talked to him, because like I said, when I went to school there, he would have been like a fucking 6th grader. But there were a couple other kids, you know, you get to know kids when they only live, you know, 10, 12 miles away from you. Yeah, I'm pretty close to that. I'll be turning a very interesting age in July, so, but I don't act like it, and I don't feel like my age, so I feel like I must be doing something somewhat okay. Oh, Christ. Got him. Oh, are you sure? That was close again, dude. You guys better be careful. I thought he was going to get another dude out at second base trying to run on him, because he damn near did, and that was off his back fucking foot, really. Damn. You'll be alright. Someday you'll probably be glad they did. You'll be miles ahead of everybody else. You'll be smarter. You'll probably be in charge. Criminy shits. If that awning wouldn't be out like that. That's not ever a home fucking thing. Jesus. Fine, I will. You know what? Just because I'm sick of you guys putting him in there. Lefty, righty, lefty, righty. Yep. You need to sit down. You just stretch and toss, and you come in the game. Yeah, but you gotta put up with the bullshit before you can do the fun shit. Trust me, bro. No matter what you do, even if you're in charge later on down the road, at some point, there's gonna be a lot of bullshit you're gonna have to do before you get to do any of the fun shit, so. Right on. Don't make me forget to check it. I usually check shit, but you never know. Sometimes I just like, after I turn this off, I look at my Facebook and then I shut shit down. I watch TV for like 20 minutes and then I pass the hell out if I'm lucky. Damn. Oh, dirty. Shit. That's like I was telling you though, like during the day though, I won't even get on my computer because all I have is my laptop, right? So, if I don't, yeah, my computer will just sit back here shut because A, for one, I know if anybody that I need to get a hold of me, they can, like, you know, my mom and shit, or, you know, if my wife needs to get a hold of me, they're usually either a phone call away or else, you know, my wife is right here, so. Usually the only time I have my computer open with my Facebook open is because she's at work. Oh, that's gone, isn't it? Lucas, you did him dirty. Nice. But yeah, like I said, that's one thing with me not having a phone. I have a couple friends, they're like, they used to tell me if I didn't know you had a phone, I would take offense to it. And I was like, for real, right? So I always tell people, keep in mind, I don't own a cell phone. Because I don't want people to take offense to it if I don't reach out to them right away. Because, well, I don't have anything dinging at me telling me that somebody's trying to get a hold of me, you know? And I feel bad, but... Oh, if that can stay fair, that's gone. Yeah, back-to-back jacks, baby, let's go. We're sending them home in style. No, it's not actually. These are kind of like, imagine they're like Madden challenges where you start in like the third quarter with this many minutes left. Sometimes you start winning, sometimes it's tied, sometimes you start from behind. The first game I played, I was up by 2 runs. The second game, it was 1-1. This one, when we started, it was 4-2 in the 6th inning. So I have to play, what, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. But I'm just hitting the ball so well, it seems like this game is taking forever. Yeah, it was 4-2 at one point. Tomorrow I'm gonna let my kids start the Chicago Cubs one of these, since my one kid's a Cubs fan. I told him I'd let him do the Cubs one. It's fine. He's a double shy. If he can hit a double here, that'd be a hit for the cycle. Let me just say, that's hard shit to do in baseball. So let's do it. He's gonna get it right here. He is. He's gonna get a goddamn double. Dude, he just hit for the cycle. That's more rare than a no-hitter. I could be wrong, you might have to Google it and look it up for me, but I'm almost certain hitting for the cycle is more rare than pitching a no-hitter. Holy damn. It's pretty much, to hit for a cycle, you have to hit a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. Now you don't have to do it in order. You can hit a home run first, a single second, then a triple, and then a double like he just probably did, but there's a natural cycle and then just a regular cycle. Like I said, the natural cycle is if you hit a single, a double, a triple, and then a home run in that order, but those are fucking gotta be really goddamn rare. Sorry, I never know. My one friend, he hates baseball because he says it's the most confusing goddamn sport. He calls it cricket in the air. It always makes me laugh. He's like, oh, dude, I want to play baseball. That's goddamn cricket in the air. And it's great, too, because one time we needed a sub in beer league baseball, and he had to fill in for us. So we let him pitch, because we figured that's like the easiest thing to do. He didn't have to really catch anything, just throw it and get out of the way. And he ended up getting hit twice in that game at pitcher, and he's like, nope, I'm done, I quit. And he did. Middle of the game, he quit on us. He's like, nope. He's like, there's no fucking way I'm getting murdered for you guys tonight. It can be, unless you really enjoy it. There's a lot of little fucking things that go into a baseball game, especially when I played catcher. And there's so many little things that go into a baseball game that people don't even think about or realize, but it is tedious as shit to sit and watch if you don't give a fuck. It's too long. That's been the biggest complaint of, quote, you know, people who want to be fans of baseball is, I want to be a fan, it's too long. But then it's like I told my kids, you know, if the game's getting boring, you just turn it to something else and come back in the 7th inning. It's like turn into a basketball game in the 4th quarter. I don't watch a lot of basketball, but when I do, I usually start it in the 4th quarter, so. Because to me, the first 3 quarters are just kind of boring. I don't know. First sport was baseball. It's probably my favorite sport. It's the sport I'm second best at, though. I'm actually best at tennis. So, yeah. Believe that? Ooh, got under it too much again, Aaron. Yep. Right? It is kind of ridiculous. I never had to really jingle my stuff around too much when I played baseball because A, I was a catcher and I had a lot of stuff on most of the time, and B, I didn't wear a cup when I played baseball. If you can imagine that as a catcher, I felt like that was pretty brave shit, but I also made sure I was going to not let anything get past me because there was a lot of risk involved if it did. A lot. That's alright, Proper. Do something where you have better odds of making something out of yourself anyway, because sports are one of those things that's like a lottery. If not even harder than a lottery. So you're better off just sticking with your computers and finding something in there. And like I said, one day running the show somewhere because other kids didn't pay attention in class and you did. And you make a shit ton more money than they ever will. Damn, dude, this is a fucking hit parade. Right? I was an okay kicker in football. I wish I'd have had better football coaches because, yeah, I taught myself more after I was older than I ever learned in football when I was younger. But I've been playing baseball and tennis since I was, 7 fucking years old. No, but you must pay attention somewhat to get good grades. And if you don't pay attention, then that's even better. Use that to your advantage. Dude, look at this. I've never had a hit parade go down like this. This is literally just a parade. They're like one base at a time, small ball hitting it where there ain't. This is unreal. Here's the cycle, man. I was trying to hit a home run, I'm not even gonna lie. I was trying to take it deep for a grand slam. Imagine it was cycle and a grand slam in the same game. Well, he's gonna get another RBI though, that's for sure. Nice. Our football coach was a crazy old lunatic who was also the track coach who had a problem with hitting on high school girls. But, you know, he was a legend, so we needed to listen to him. Because he won one state championship in like 39 years, so he's a legend. That's one area we'll have to disagree on proper. I have no love for any team from Miami, quite honestly. Even the one Coach Frost coached at. I have the least hate for UCF in South Florida. But as far as Florida State, and Miami go, but I'll say this much. This is my hate level list. It goes Miami #1, I hate them the most. Florida State #2, and then Florida, if that makes you feel any better. I don't dislike Florida the most out of those teams. Actually, no, I was 4 years old when that happened. My reasoning for them is the fact that they pretty much cheated worse than SMU for not like a year or two or even 5 years, pretty much for 2 decades, and didn't have to deal with anything but a few little infractions and maybe a coach firing here or there, or a couple down years. But when you look at what happened to SMU, and on top of it, those motherfuckers from Miami have a fucking mouth on them that they can't cash most of the checks for. They've had a couple really, really good teams in their entire history. 2, maybe 3 in their entire history. But if you were to ask them, every team since 1972 has been a fucking superb greatness. Yeah, turnover chain, that's the dumbest shit ever. It's just, the greatest thing in my life was in 1994 when we made Warren Sapp literally look like a hobo off the streets who had never played a game of life and didn't know what the word conditioning meant. I literally remember being 14 years old and thinking to myself, that is the most unconditioned human being I've ever watched play a sport that he'll probably go on to play the pros and get paid millions of dollars for, but we're making him look like a fucking jackass. And it's funny how their mouths weren't moving much other than to breathe heavily. I called it hands on hips. Every time I watch that game, you can just watch them all those great players. The potatoes. The Washington potatoes. I've never heard them called that in my entire life, and I'm happy that I have now. Thank you for adding that to my vocabulary, dude. The Washington potatoes. Yeah, He got lucky and got a teammate called Derek Brooks who made him look pretty good. Even though that son of a bitch was from Florida State. Yeah, buddy, that's got to get out of here. I'm just saying, as far as that one day goes, it was sure pleasurable to watch him. That and the fact that our coach literally told our entire team before the game and at halftime, don't talk, don't play into their game, let them talk, and by halftime one of them's going to do something stupid and get a penalty, and once you know it, if you go back and watch that game, that's exactly what happened. I believe it was in the third quarter. One of their mouths was trying to get one of our guys to do something. He was trying to egg on probably our most rage-prone player, and he just didn't play into his game, and next thing you know, penalty flag, first down us. Yeah, we got a national championship. They didn't. And that's back-to-back jacks by the big dogs. Dude, I heard so many people complain about human joystick while I was watching those Madden streams. It almost was making me think pretty quick they're going to ban the word human joystick on there. Oh, I don't doubt that one bit. It's just funny how people always point that out to me, but yet they don't bring up anybody else. Like Notre Dame. If there's one thing I don't want to listen to as a Notre Dame fan talk about Notre Dame, because I'll tell them, you need to just stop right there. There ain't nothing you're going to tell me that's going to make me a fan of your school and or make me give a flying shit about them, bro. Or he doesn't want it, he's getting it. We are the New York Yankees of college football. I hope you understand this. Trust me, there's nothing you can say that doesn't get messaged to me on Twitter. I should screenshot you some of the shit I get from Iowa people about my football team. Like I said, 12, 13, 14 years ago, I'd have probably fucking blocked you off my thing just for even not talking right about Nebraska. But then I learned we were the New York Yankees. It comes with winning. People tend to not like you when you win 5 national championships, 4 of them, you know, 2 of those were back-to-back, 3 of them were within 3 years. We almost damn near won 4, if not for Jake the Snake Plumber, of all people. Yeah, like with superheroes, they say with power becomes great responsibility. With winning comes great hate in sports. Ask the Patriots fans. Yeah, I don't know. I know some people that aren't very big on Steelers. Especially Big Ben. I have a couple friends that do not care for Big Ben whatsoever. I think he's not saying he's a fucking superstar, but the dude fucking sure was for a while good enough to do some winning. So I don't know. I just know I tend to try to appreciate how fucking awesome Nebraska was in the 90s, early and late, because I understand now that that shit doesn't last forever. You know, every school has that shit happen. And anybody that tries to tell me differently is wrong, because there is no one school that has just, from day one, been constantly good. Everybody finds their down times. Oklahoma find their down times. Texas, Miami, Notre Dame, USC, Tennessee, Nebraska, every one of them. And it's not just once. Alabama's had theirs too. I remember being a kid, Alabama was a fucking joke, dude. They didn't even talk about Alabama all that much. Who, Tua, the little, Tua Jr.? Who do you end up going to then? Who do you like? What schools do you going to? Yeah, Big 12's a fucking joke. The only school that gets anything good from the Big 12 is Texas. Everybody else gets fucked. It's like schools like Texas A&M fucking bolted for the SEC. Colorado would rather play in the fucking Pac-12 than play in the Big 12. Yeah, it has. And for all I know, it could go longer. Shit could last forever. For all I know, ask Chicago Cubs fans, dude. There ain't no guarantee in sports. You don't just get to show up and be good. You gotta earn that shit. Right? But who'd he go to? Like, what school did he? Because you can still go back. He can go back to Alabama. Just because he entered the transfer portal doesn't mean he's necessarily gone, right? It just means he is looking into other options, and until he signs with another school... Oklahoma, dude. I don't know. I'll have to beg to differ with you about that one. Go Google John Blake. And then tell me again that Oklahoma's never had a downtime. Pretty much just Google anything after Bud Wilkinson until Stoops. I believe they had another guy with a mustache who weighed like 700 pounds running their offense at one time, who went on to Kansas and didn't do too many great things there too. But yeah, there is no one school that's been good forever. It's just, it doesn't happen. It's impossible. It's not a thing. Yeah, those are good names. That last one kind of doesn't really matter. I wouldn't add him to that list. You could probably take him off that. Jason White, he's a system. He never even played a day in the NFL, did he? And really, isn't Landry Jones XFL or some shit like that? I only give him half credit for Baker Mayfield, because before that he was just a Texas A&M or Texas Tech. Yeah, that's the problem when you run that option all those fucking years. It's too bad too. I would have liked to have seen some of our dudes from back in the day play in today's offensive style. Especially some of our receivers that could block, because now they need receivers that just can't catch but can block, and a lot of those guys don't know how to block. And our receivers, they had to block first, catch second, and back in the day. But you know what's great about that is I don't give a fuck what they do in the pros. That's just a secondary bonus for me. All I really care about is what they do here, and for here, they've done some pretty amazing shit for me, so I'll take that any day. Yeah. He should have probably went somewhere else and played football in a different league where he could have played. He should have went to Canada and just played their fucking crazy football. He did not I don't know why they thought he had a size to be any form of a wide receiver at all. That made zero sense to me whatsoever. But then again, Scott Frost, they moved him to safety when he went to the NFL because they wouldn't allow him to play quarterback. And that was back when they didn't allow you to. There was none of this Lamar Jackson stuff. They would, back in the 90s, they'd have told Lamar Jackson it's pretty simple. If you want to come to the combine, you come as a wide receiver. You're not getting invited. That's your only choice. It wasn't necessarily, it was an option, but it wasn't one they really gave you. We didn't get lucky. How was that lucky? That's just good recruiting, dude. Not to mention Croucher's from Nebraska. We didn't get lucky. He was born here. If that's lucky, I guess. I don't know. That's like saying Alabama's gotten lucky. Fuck, one of them guys is from Hawaii. You don't get lucky in college. You get good recruiting. And we had good recruiting. Tommy Frazier came from Bradenton, Florida. He could have went to any one of those Miami schools. I believe the high school he went to was Braden Manatee High School in Florida. Yeah, I'm glad I got to see Amon Green play in real life. And you could tell that dude was just fucking on a different level. Even with some of the good players that he played against or on the same team with, he was just fuck. He come out in pads and it was like, damn, dude, that's our running back? Like, that's our running back? Like, alright, let's do this. Alright, real quick, where are we at? So it's going to simulate. Man, it's going to make us play pretty much every damn game of these playoffs. I don't know what the point of having all that huge fire bubble is then if they're never going to simulate a single game. Oh, excuse me. Need to go to this. Need to check that. Alright, so we got that taken care of. 33. I should be able to get this card by win. If I win the World Series, I should get that card. We should be at like 52 or 53 out of that 70 up there. And that would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Right? Almost 2 weeks in. Yeah, my kid's last day was the 9th. They had their last classes. We turned their computers and all that shit in Thursday evening. I have to take it all up to the school by myself. One parent is allowed in the school at a time. We have to sit in our cars and they will come usher us in the fucking school. Every kid's got his stuff, so both my kids' stuff has to be in separate bags, labeled with each kid. And then if they have anything in their lockers that they found when they cleaned out the school, they're going to trade us for the shit that we give to them. Funny story, my kids both said the same thing. We shouldn't have anything in our lockers, but I have a feeling I'm going to get 2 bags with something in it. I find it hard to believe that a 3rd grader and a 7th grader have nothing in their locker. But we'll see. Maybe, I know the one teacher made them clean out, the 7th graders' teachers made them clean out their locker because one of the kids decided it was a good idea to leave rotten or like a thing of milk in his locker for like a really really long time, and the whole locker area smelled really bad. So go figure. Seventh graders, man. Right? That's what I said. I was like, dude, that is fuck. I was like, ew. I was like, gag me, man. Something about nasty milk. You think they would have smelled it sooner, but I guess something. I can't remember if it was over spring break, because our spring break happened right before all this hoopla. And I think something happened where some kid left it in there for a few days before spring break, and then our spring break, got extended because of this stuff. And then they went back to school for that one day, and when they were there that day, I'm pretty sure the teacher made them clean all their fucking lockers out so nobody else had any nasty shit in there, because I think he knew they were probably going to be gone. And can you imagine if that milk would have gotten left in there for another however long with no kids at the school? That would have been in there for a month or longer. Just ugh. Fucking seventh graders, man. Alright, what time is it? Holy shit, it's almost 3 a.m. Holy Christ, I did not know that. I was thinking maybe it was coming up on like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I hadn't looked at a clock in a little while. Yeah, I need to probably, I need to probably get off here. I gotta get up early tomorrow, deal with some shit, go to town maybe, possibly mow. And we got to start getting the kids' school stuff put together and make sure we have everything. We got to go down the checklist. Make sure we have all the chargers, all the books, any library books. All their books need to be cleaned out. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Ah, yes, good call. Because I'd have totally forgot. I'd have been like, I need to get off the Facebook. I need to get off everything. Alright, well, I'm going to call it a night here. Like I said, I think tomorrow I'm going to take a break from football for a while. I don't have any golf to play tomorrow, so I'm probably just going to do most likely either City Skylines or Rec Fest, one or the other. And then I'm definitely going to do baseball, so I'm not sure which one to do first, City Skylines or Rec Fest, but I'll decide on one of the two, and then we'll play baseball after that. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Everybody take it easy. Be safe, behave, stay out of trouble. Wash your damn hands. Later. Peace.